Good morning, everybody. Now, today there is a court case starting in Cardiff, in Wales, and it's being brought by a group of mothers in Wales who have set up an organisation called Public Child Protection Wales, and they are taking the Welsh government to court and the Senate to court today to try to stop them from implementing a terrible policy, which is to force children down to the ages of 3, primary schools and even pre-primary schools, to have compulsory relationships and sex education. And this is something that has been rolled out not just in Wales, but around the UK and around the world as well. In the UK, the Tories are doing it in England, Labour are doing it in Wales, the SNP are doing it in Scotland. And something that would never have been considered 10 years ago or so is to actually give very, very explicit materials to primary school children under the guise of relationships and sex education. And some of the things which are appearing in lessons before children of the ages of 5 and younger, goes right down to even kindergartens, are grossly inappropriate, to say the least. That's the word that is used to be polite, but they are actually sexualizing and in some cases almost pornographic materials appearing before children. Some of the things that I've seen, because I've been speaking about this for a very long time, some of the things I wouldn't even want to mention on a video like this. Look, I'm over 50 years old now, and some of the things that they're teaching children and giving children are things that I've never heard of before, and I'm like, why? Why on earth do you need to bring this kind of explicit sexual content before kids in primary schools? It absolutely is wrong. But this is part of Agenda 2030, which is rearing its ugly head all over the place. And the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals that governments, regimes around the world seem to be wanting to implement. And one of the planks of that is something they call gender equality. Well, that sounds nice if you don't think about it. Yeah, men and women are equal. They should have equal opportunities. I agree with that. But it doesn't mean that. What it means is, first of all, equal outcomes rather than equal opportunities, which means deliberately suppressing men and deliberately trying to force women to do things that they might not, in general, want to do for equal outcomes in terms of the way that anything that they can measure. You know, how many people are in the boardrooms of the top 100 companies has to be 50-50 men and women. It doesn't, but this is the thinking behind this sort of equity, equal outcomes agenda. But it goes beyond that, because it's not just about equal outcomes for men and women anymore. It actually goes towards destroying the notion of biological sex and mixing up genders and saying, well, there's not just even 2 genders, there's like 100 genders, and you can decide your gender whenever you like, and you can have all kinds of operations and get your body cut up to pretend that you're the other gender. Now, look, if you are an adult and you want to do that, I would severely recommend against doing that, but it's your own choice. But when it comes to children and confusing children about whether they're boys or girls or not, is actually very, very wicked, because you now have young children who are not happy being boys or girls when they are boys and girls, and what they want to do is inject them with chemicals and then start cutting up their bodies in order to try to pretend to make them look anatomically like the opposite sex. Absolutely wrong. This should not be going on anywhere. It's insane. But it's happening in the UK, all around the Western world, and other countries are looking at us and thinking, what on earth are you doing? You've just gone mad. We have. But this has been brought into schools along with grossly sexualizing materials. The World Health Organization has published an education grid for comprehensive sexuality education, which is what they call it. The particular branding in the UK is Relationships and Sex Education, but it's the same. They recommend that children from 0 to 4 years old learn about stimulation. Let's just put that word there. I think you know what I mean. Again, you wouldn't teach that, if you have any kind of moral compass, to any children at all. You teach them about reproduction at an appropriate age, 12 or 13 years old. And that's it. You don't go in to the very youngest of children and teach them all of these things that no one ever did before and try to take away the innocence of childhood. And that's what's happening. So I fully support Public Child Protection Wales and what they're doing in their court case. And I hope that they are successful today. And if they are, well, the court, it starts today. It goes on for a couple of weeks. The case, they have gathered a lot of evidence about how the materials that they want to bring in Wales to schools will be harmful to children, which to me and to 99% of the population is just simple common sense. But we seem to have an elite 1% who are ruining everything and are bringing in these things which are just on one level insane and on another level absolutely evil and destructive to children as well as the rest of us. So I wish Public Child Protection Wales all the best with their case today. It's a case in Wales, but it will also affect England as well and the rest of the UK. Because obviously the judicial systems are linked in together. So a ruling in Wales will affect the whole of the UK, or certainly England anyway. Scotland and Northern Ireland might be different systems, but certainly it will have an effect on England, which is in population terms the larger part of the UK. So all the best to the team there. And I hope you are successful in your venture to protect children and to give children back their childhood and their innocence as they always had before this terrible agenda was rolled out.